This most definitely isn't the video that I expected to do this morning. The fact that it's took 3 attempts to make sure that I do the video justice. Yesterday Celtic lost a legend. And I say that, and I mean it. Sometimes you have people that don't play for the club that are complete legends within the club, and the fan base, the wider fan base. David Potter, the Celtic historian, passed away yesterday. I had the pleasure of calling David a friend. He was a dear friend on the Joseph Rafferty bus. What David didn't know about Celtic wasn't worth knowing. David obviously wrote so many books about Celtic. He was Celtic's official historian, noted by the club, and I'm sure the club will put something out about the passing of David also. He wrote so many books. A story about David will go into what some people have been saying about his passing since yesterday, and I'll give you a funny example of David and what Celtic meant to him. A few years ago when we played Manchester City down in Manchester, I took the bus down. I was still the convener at that time of the Joseph Rafferty Celtic supporters bus in Kirkcaldy, and David came on the bus. He didn't have a ticket for the game. David, being David, would always try and get to games no matter what, and the fact that we had Manchester City give it a little bit more reason for him to go down and watch the game. So we took the bus down to Manchester, knowing that David didn't have a ticket, and we go to a pub in Manchester, and within about 10 minutes of us being in the pub, and David managed to acquire a ticket for the game. And David just basically went up to the bar and asked the barman, being the honourable guy that he was, he asked the barman if he could acquire a ticket for the game today, and he did. He managed to get a ticket for the game, and he was happy. That was him. That was David all over. I had many times, many occasions that I would speak to David on the bus about football, about Celtic, about the game, and I remember the early days of this YouTube channel. There was times I wanted to interview David and talk to him, but we ended up we never actually filmed anything. We used to just sit and talk football. David would have his rightful place down the front of the bus, and he was just a remarkable man. We'll look at some of the people that have been saying their condolences to the family and to Rosemary, and I think he'll be sorely missed by everyone on the Joseph Rafferty Celtic supporters bus. I'm sure Rafs will put out a statement later on. He will be sorely missed. First one that I want to put out is Andrew Milne. Obviously runs the Celtic podcast. He knew David well also. He put out that we're gutted to hear about the sudden death of our great friend and fanzine and podcast contributor. His contributions to Celtic and the history is immense through his books. Full tribute to David will follow on Andrew's website. A lot of people didn't know his second love was cricket, and then there was times that we used to kind of wind him up about it, but it was well known within the cricket fraternity in Scotland, and especially Falkland Cricket Club in Fife. They put out 2 hours ago that we are deeply saddened to learn the passing of our David Potter, a wonderful scorer and match secretary, a true gentleman in every sense of the word. David will be sorely missed by everyone at the club and within Scottish cricket. Our thoughts and prayers were David and Rosemary and his family and friends at this extremely difficult time. The Celtic Star put out a statement and said they're sad to report that Celtic historian David Potter peacefully passed away this morning. Rest in peace, my friend. David was a true friend, and he was an absolute gentleman of Celtic. A lot of people knew David through Celtic and his writing, and this is just a video to say thank you, David, for everything that you gave Celtic. Thank you from me for all the help that you give me during my years I've been bus convener of the Joseph Rafferty Celtic Supporters Club, and rest in peace, Davy.